In our last segment, we spoke about leveraging volunteers to help with social media management. This comes up at many nonprofit organizations, often because leadership is looking to add capacity without adding lots of cost to the bottom line. And let me tell you, I've seen the depth of this span the full scope of roles. So let's consider when we should do this and how we can do it well. And let's also be mindful that nothing is free. Even your social media volunteers need oversight from a staff member. This all really begins with recruiting. You can directly reach out to potential volunteers that you have experience with, which is my preferred method, or you can clearly communicate the need for social media volunteers through your organization's website, newsletters, social media channels, so that members of the public can apply to support your organization and or gain unpaid experience for their own portfolio. Regardless of how you come about your volunteers, you'll want to create specific roles or positions related to social media management, outlining responsibilities and expectations for each person. It can help to identify everyone's skills and interests up front so you can piece the puzzle together most effectively. Once you assess the skills and interests of your volunteers, you can match them with suitable social media tasks. Some may excel at content creation, while others may be adept at community engagement or even analytics. And don't assume that just because they have experience using or maybe even running social media previously that you can just turn over the keys and let them at it. You still want to provide comprehensive training on your organization's mission, values, and the specific goals of your social media strategy. I also find that it's helpful to offer training sessions or resources on social media, best practices, platform-specific guidelines, and any other tools or software your organization uses all at the same time. For volunteers that will be tasked with creating content such as graphics, videos, and written posts, you'll want to train them on your organization's content guidelines and share any templates you want them to use to maintain consistency. It's definitely okay to encourage volunteers to share their unique perspectives and, really come into their own creativity while aligning with your organization's messaging, as long as they keep it within those bounds you set. For volunteers who are assigned to engage with the online community by responding to comments, messages, and mentions, you want their goal to be to foster a positive and responsive online presence. Give them some guidance on things like tone, language, and how they can handle sensitive issues so that they can do that effectively and stay on brand. Another area you can have volunteers support is social media monitoring. Enlist volunteers to monitor social media platforms for mentions of your organization, relevant trends, and other conversations that are happening in the nonprofit sector. And keep your volunteers informed about the latest developments and emerging topics related to your cause. This should be a two-way street where you're sharing and learning together. Live event coverage is another great place to engage volunteers as extra hands. During events or campaigns, they can share behind-the-scenes content, post live streams, and provide real-time updates. You'll just want to make sure they're equipped with the necessary tools and guidelines for live coverage before the event begins. Influencer outreach is another place where volunteers can add capacity by identifying and reaching out to potential influencers or partners who can amplify your organization's message. Again, just make sure you provide these volunteers with guidance on who we're looking for and how we can effectively outreach to them. Finally, if you have volunteers who have a strong numbers game, you can involve them in analytics and reporting. Task those volunteers with monitoring social media analytics and generating reports, and provide them with training on interpreting analytics so they can not only pull numbers, but use those numbers to offer advice on how you can adjust strategies and increase your performance. Whatever social media components you choose to engage your volunteers in, you'll want to have regular check-ins and a mechanism for providing feedback. Schedule intervals to review performance, address questions, and ensure alignment with organizational goals. And between those check-ins, encourage open communication and collaboration among volunteers. And don't forget to recognize their contributions through shout-outs, features, or volunteer appreciation events. You'll want to make this team feel valued as an integral part of your organization's success. By effectively engaging volunteers in social media management, your organization can expand its reach, enhance community engagement, and effectively and efficiently manage an online presence with limited financial investment.